I saw this here. I'm on Loudwire. Loudwire fucks. Loudwire is probably my favorite publication. You guys know that out of all these. So I saw this pop up, and I'm like, okay, we need to take. Okay, David Draymond, who's, you guys know, the vocalist of Disturbed. I love Disturbed. David Draymond has one of the best voices in rock music, I guess. I don't know, metal rock music. He went on his Twitter, of course, the tweeter, the bane of everyone's existence. When you go on Twitter and you just go shoot the shit and you state your opinions and everyone tells you to kill yourself. So it's a great platform. Please make sure you follow a Twitter account. Okay? So David Draymond went on Twitter and he shouted out a couple bands that give him hope for the future, because apparently people keep... Who is that? Okay. Who says rock is dead, by the way? Because I'm actually curious. Like, I know everyone thinks people say rock is dead. Who is saying rock is dead? Like, is teenagers? Corey Taylor? Corey Taylor actually said rock is dead? I don't think so. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think rock is literally more alive than fucking ever. Maroon 5, well, their fucking moron is in their name then, okay? So don't worry about that. Gene Simmons, he's like a million fucking years old, okay? Everything is dead around him at that point. No, it was Gene Simmons, and he claimed they killed it. Who killed it? Okay, so whatever, sure. So some people maybe say it's dead. I think it's fucking stupid. Okay? I will say a few things on this topic. First, let's dive into it before we discuss, okay? So what bands did he say are actually making it so rock isn't dead? Machine Gun Kelly, he's named after a fucking gun, okay? It's not even a specific type of gun, okay? It's a category of gun. He couldn't be specific enough. And he just fucking drank fucking his wife's blood or some shit, like vampires, all right? Like it's some kind of Twilight episode bullshit, all right? So don't be worrying about the MGK boy right now, okay? On January 8th, the rocker used his renewed Twitter. Oh, he wasn't on there for a bit, okay? So these are the bands David Draymond shouted out that are leading rock: Motionless in White, Bring Me the Horizon, Nothing More, and Bad Wolves. I will say a couple things on this. I think Motionless is actually a really good pick. They're great. They're very diverse. They have the new metal side. They got the metalcore side. They got the alt rock side. They got the ballady tracks. I think I'm cool with that. Bring Me, yes. I like even if you fucking hate Bring Me, just thank them. Be like, you could despise them and say, I hope Bring Me burns tomorrow, but at least say thank you. We all have to say thank you to that fucking man in some capacity. All right, they have done way more for metal than I think most people actually understand. Like in terms of gatekeeping and getting people into metal. That's what I mean by that. So they are helping, even if they don't even even if their next 5 albums are all pop, they still have gotten more kids into metal than majority of the scene bands have so far. Nothing More. I think they're cool, but I think there's been more influential bands in terms of keeping rock alive as a whole. And yeah, Bad Wolves is dope. I mean, we had Doc on. I like Bad Wolves. I didn't know if they were that forward pushing in terms of keeping rock alive. I don't know if I'd categorize them as that. I just think they're just a really good band that's doing cool modern metal with like an old school twist heavy stuff. But cool. You know, I'll take it. This sentiment, right, that rock is dead. First of all, chat, is rock dead? Is rock dead? Yay or nay? Is it dead or is it dying? Hell nah, no, yes, no. Rock, okay then. Rock's alive. No, nay. We got some horse responses here too. Okay? Every kind of, apparently. That's okay. It's more alive than Ozzy. Well, Ozzy's been a ghost for like 50 fucking years, bro, okay? It's all the cocaine. He's just going. He's just floating through the world at this point. I love it. Okay, so let's discuss. Now, in terms of the music industry, and let's say classic rock, right? Like that stuff back in the day, I don't think anything will ever be more popular than that in terms of how much it reached into mainstream. Like the 80s, 90s, you know what I mean? Even like grunge and shit. I think that just reached a specific crazy hype during those years because also the help of new technologies, the help of media, TV, and shit like that, helping push all that stuff, and how everything was very kind of by the book, and rock was basically like a fuck you to the system. I get it. It was popular. Everyone who grew up in that era, even if they hate even if they don't listen to metal or even listen to rock, they probably know who the Rolling Stones are or who the Beatles are or who Guns N' Roses are. You know what I mean? So that's a tough comparison. Like, I don't think any fucking genre will ever reach like that height unless there's a crazy technological change in which some genre piggybacks off of, and some kind of political change that the genre piggybacks off of that just makes it explode like past mainstream. Okay, that's crazy then. But in terms of nowadays, like, dead, I would say it's lesser than like in the 80s, 90s, maybe early 2000s. Yeah, early 2000s too. Since it's gone then, it was on a downtrend, and now I think it's back at this crazy peak, especially with the younger generation and with things like TikTok, which I don't like TikTok. I'm partnered on TikTok and I don't like it. You guys know this. I very outwardly speak how much I just dislike TikTok kind of. But motherfuckers are growing up nowadays listening to trap metal or rap rock and disinfect my surroundings for the 50th time on there, not even knowing what metal is and fucking getting into it. And now, again, people who are my generation, maybe and a bit older, are growing up now with kids. And those guys grew up with probably like deathcore and like Suicide Silence and metalcore and fucking All That Remains or Killswitch Engage. And then they're putting that shit on for their kids to listen to growing up. So I think even currently where we're at within the state of popularity of metal and rock is pretty fucking good. And I think it's only going up. Like I said, because the young generation is growing up now with all this shit. And because you guys even see it, like pop musicians, it's not like they're just these crystal clear pop people anymore. Pop musicians are like kind of edgelords. I mean, MGK, fucking, again, I want to talk about it for like a second. MGK marrying Megan Fox, drinking each other's blood, beefing with Corey Taylor. You know what I mean? Like, pop artists are kind of edgelords now, which they're people that also, like, they're into heavier music, a good chunk of them. And that's cool. Like, so even like the pop artists, even though like, yeah, they're doing pop, it's not like back in the day where it's like, here's this angel pop artist, you know what I mean? That can do no wrong. That's very pure, even though they're probably really fucked up behind the scenes, right? That's very pure and can do no wrong and is very much all about happy-go-lucky pop or whatever the fuck. That's not pop artists as much nowadays. Everyone is sad and depressed. Okay? And everyone listens to sad, fucking depressing-ass music with crazy beats just to take their mind off of how fucked up the world is. I mean, yeah, Billie Eilish. Like, how old was she? She's like 16. And I'm like, damn, I can feel her sadness through her music. What the fuck? You only 16, fam? Life ain't even start for you. You know what I mean? So like that wasn't as much, I don't think, the thing before. And now, weirdly enough, you know, that image, that sadness, that edginess also ties in with the alternative scene and metal music and rock music, right? So even pop musicians are like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, let's listen to some breakdowns. 1 second, I got to go track this, you know, top 20 song. But then in my free time, I'm going to listen to like some deathcore breakdowns and shit. I think it's much more intertwined than people are giving it credit for. Even if pop is pop and pop will always be the king, right? You know, metal is creeping in there. It's creeping in there, especially because a lot of the pop people are actually into heavier music. I mean, even if they wear the shirts that's like, hey, I have a Metallica shirt or whatever, a Killswitch Engage shirt, and then you're like, oh, fuck them. I bet they can't name 3 songs or whatever. You know what I mean? Who the fuck cares? They, in some capacity, enjoy the aesthetic and share the band. Maybe they do listen to the band or bands similar. Who the fuck knows? And they're getting their fans, right? Their popular, big fan base to get into that stuff or at least check it out. I think even though there will never be like a crazy rock peak like there was in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, the overall music scene, I think, is becoming much more tighter knit with alternative music, with metal music, and with screaming being a more mainstream thing. Who would have thought? I think it's going to become so intertwined with mainstream culture that you're going to become lame for liking metal because it's too popular. Lorna Shore is going to be touring with fucking Ariana Grande. Post Malone's going to be touring with Polyphia. All right, doing tracks together. MGK is going to be, I don't know, doing weird vampire shit with, Megan Fox and touring with Slipknot. Okay. These are my assumptions for the next 10 years. And you can hate them, and I hate them too. But hey, it's fun to think about where things are going. That's so fucking cute. That is so fucking cute.